Hello and welcome to another Merseyside Mammoths War Machine Battle Report. My name's Jonny and today I am playing Kador. I'm using Zerkova 1 in the Steel Legion theme list.
My name's Glen, I'm playing Signar. This is the second attempt at this video because we've already cocked it up once. Don't worry about that. You might recognise this army list from the last time I was on the Merseyside Mammoths Battle Reports. It's the same Darius list as last time. The scenario we're playing is Take and Hold. That means a kill box is active. You can claim the opponent's flag as a dominate for 2 points or a control for 1 point, or you can dominate your friendly flag for 1 point. Jonny, do you want to go down your army list first?
Yeah, no worries. So I'm using Zerkova 1, a Kodiak, 2 Juggernauts, no sorry, scrap that, 3 Juggernauts.
Scrapjack.
An Iron Fang Kovnik, Iron Fang Kovnik Markov, the Great Bears, 2 units of Iron Fang Pikemen with attachments, and a full unit of Uhlans.
Is that the Steel Legion theme I see?
It is.
I thought it may well be. My list is Edward, Domonic, Darius, and the heavy metal theme for Signar, because it's the Age of Themes. Darius has got 2 Centurions with him, a Squire, which is free because of the theme. He's got a Charger, and he's got a Stormwall. There's also not Captain Alison Jakes, Lieutenant Alison Jakes, the Journeyman, who's got a Charger as well, a regular Journeyman, who's got a Charger as well, a unit of minimum mechanics, Arlen Strangeways, and that rounds off the list. So I've got an extra 2-inch deployment for the theme, I've got some free solos, and all the solos and mechanics get repositioned. Okay, I think we're ready to start, so we'll start the recording now. Okay, so Signar player, me, Glen, won the role to go first. I chose to go first, and Jonny picked the side. You can see I've got my markers out there as the extra 2-inch deployment, so I've got 9-inch deployment. With this being a kill box scenario, I'm going to try and keep, obviously Darius has got to be within the kill box, but because he's fairly tanky compared to a lot of Signar casters, he can sort of hopefully take it. The list tries to work by throwing 2 Centurions, one of which will have Arcane Shield on, and one of which will have Fortify on, into contesting range of the enemy sort of objectives. They're pretty tough cookies to break, so they tend to hold the enemy back with the 2 of them, while the Chargers pound shots into them, and the Stormwall will do the same thing. If it gets to late game, then hopefully the opponent will have tried to deal with Centurions for too long and won't have the kit left to deal with the Stormwall. You can hot swap spells onto Stormwall, Arcane Shield and Fortify, and it gives it a lot of staying power for the end of the game. I wouldn't drop this into anything that can remove upkeeps. Menites, I'm looking at you, not really going to happen. So I've deployed... Jonny's reminding me that he's got Hex Blast in his list. So I've deployed there, Stormwall up to go and take my flag with Darius, and Centurions to get Jonny's. Jonny's almost deployed.
Yeah, so I picked the side and I'm thinking about where I can put my my little clouds, my freezing mists. So I'm thinking to put them in between the forests, block off line sight completely, and a couple on the side. And this is me using my advanced move on 1 unit of Iron Fangs for my theme benefit.
So I'm powering up as I start the first turn. As I've sort of mentioned, I'm going to try and throw those Centurions as far up the field as I can get to get into the face of Jonny's flag. With the new terrain placing rules, they tend to find a nice little spot behind whatever is blocking line of sight in the middle of the board. In this case, we've got a large wood. So they're going to go behind that because it, as well as stopping charges with Polarity Field, they can also kind of negate charge lanes by hiding behind there. It tends to work out well because people have to either stumble towards them, which they do anyway because of Polarity Field, but getting them stuck in terrain is also good. I don't have a large amount of Pathfinder myself, however, that's the trade-off. So Darius has moved up, he's cast Fortify on the Centurion closest to him. The Journeyman Warcaster's cast Arcane Shield on the one closest to the bottom of the screen. Darius' Charger and Junior's Charger have moved up onto the hill. Jake's Charger is right at the top near the clock. He's just gone forward. Jake's has activated and put Sidekick on there, so he's got +2 defence and can't be knocked down, pushed and slammed. And Stormwall is going to move up as well. I've thrown Stormwall forward probably a bit further than I normally would in this game, and I don't know if that was a bit of an error. However, he's very, very good at controlling Iron Fang Pikemen with covering fires, so it might not be too much of a problem. So we're over to Jonny now, he's just checking some ranges.
Yeah, just looking at sort of threat ranges of Glen stuff. So I instantly make a mistake and activate Zerkova first and run her forward. So I should have activated the Pikemen that are on the sort of towards the bottom of the screen and charge them forwards first to get Pathfinder, but I didn't. I activated Zerkova and did 4 freezing mists to try and, like I said before, block off the charge lanes.
I never knew that was called freezing mist, genuinely.
And shooting as well. So at this point, yeah, I realise I've made a mistake and just have to run them anyway, so I'm not shield walling this unit. And then this unit I am shield walling, so they just walk forward, shield wall, stay behind my clouds, freezing mists, and I try and get a couple behind the wall, but I think only one ends up getting there. Yeah, Uhlans just run up, ready to charge through the pikemen, basically.
So the way Steel Legion tends to work is that Markov sits at the back on his horse and allows all the Iron Fangs to charge through each other. The solos and the Great Bears also gain counter charge.
And Markov.
And Markov also gains counter charge. So it itself is a pretty tough customer. The fact that you can counter charge through your own guys, I think it's a bit of a blessing and a curse, because you can. I've seen Kado players throw solos away doing it.
It's definitely a bit of a red herring. I've learnt that a lot of the time you're better off not doing it. I've thrown the Great Bears away, you've thrown Kovniks away doing that when it's just needless and you don't gain much. So yeah, I've run anything up and thrown it over to Glen for turn 2.
So at my turn 2, I've got clouds in my face, freezing mists in my face, which is a problem. It's going to shut down charges shooting pretty well. You can see Jonny's placed a pair of good clouds at the bottom covering his flag, meaning the 2 charges down there, juniors, the journeyman warcasters, not to use internet speak, and Darius is just haven't got targets this turn and they're not really going to get them. I've got to play a careful threat range game here. I know the Centurion that I'm measuring out here can't be charged, but he can still be walked into by a Juggernaut, which is not going to be ideal. Also, a trap that I found with this list is you've got to throw the Centurions far enough forward to cover charges and whatever is behind them. Otherwise, they'll get charged instead. So the charges are kind of playing a cautious game because they are still charge targets, and you can get a little bit cocky with not being able to be charged. There's only 2 models that can't be charged, not all of them. So I've moved the Centurion up there to contest. He's polarity shielded. He's got his arcane shield. He's feeling fairly confident that he's not really going to be moved. Zerkova has got Hex Blast, but with me moving within 4 of the flag, I'm kind of thinking she's going to be focus strapped if she tries to start casting a lot of spells, and she doesn't want to be focus strapped when there's a Centurion in her face. If she wants to dominate that flag, she's either going to have to kill a Centurion, which is going to be really hard as you can't charge it. So I'm applying scenario pressure there. Darius is taking a bit of a wild shot there and bounced off a load of shield walls at the top. The Stonewall is taking a few shots at some Iron Fangs. I think he removes.
He ends up getting a couple, doesn't he?
Possibly 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Nothing to write home about, I suppose. It's a bit of a weak turn from me, really, because normally this army at this point is taking some names with charger shots and Stonewall shots, and that's been neutered by clouds, and I've not really got anything to counter it. At this point, I'm entirely relying on 2 Centurions pretty much to hold the line while I try and find a way that I can stop Jonny from putting clouds down. Generally, it's putting pressure on Zerkova to spend focus on other stuff. Here, Stonewall taking a couple of Iron Fangs.
Yeah, I think he kills all 3 that are sat by the wall, and then the charger finishes
off.
I
think the charger kills the third. His powerful shot there. So
yeah,
powerful shot is the staple of chargers. They can boost an attack and damage roll for 1 focus. So they power up for 1. You give them 1 focus, and they're really, really focus efficient. Also, they can with a good dice spike, they can damage heavy warjacks. So you see the pair of Harshak there in the middle, just moving up to support the Centurions. And then it's over to Jonny.
Yeah, so just removing my Freezing Mist from the previous turn.
Freezing Mist, I'm so happy that I know that.
Yeah, so once again, just before I allocate and power up, I think I'm seeing where I can get to see whether it's worth sending the Juggernaut forward to get the Centurion. So I realised that, yeah, I can walk forward.
So the Centurion's about 6 inches away from the lead Juggernaut, which means that he's not going to be able to walk and hit me, but he is going to be able to trample, which he's currently doing.
That's right. He tramples forward 7 and starts wailing on him.
You get some fairly good
damage. Yeah, I hit the first attack and he takes Oh, that's my head.
In fact,
He takes a good chunk, doesn't he?
I will show you the damage right in the camera in a minute. Although it might only have caught half the recording. I don't know. But he does have a good smash.
He has a good go, doesn't he?
With me forcing him to trample, there it was. With me forcing him to trample, he is buying attack, so he's only going to get 2 attacks, so he's not going to kill it.
No, but I think I crit stationary him, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah.
So again, it's making me less focus efficient next turn.
Yeah, that's it. He only has 2 to play with. So now, again, I'm thinking about activating Zerkova next, and I'm just proxying where the Centurion can get to and stab her over the flag, because obviously I don't want that to happen. So, and this is me measuring out my control area, because I'm thinking about feet in this turn. So yeah, I do move her forward, measure my control, see what I can get in the feet, and I do pop it.
So you can see I've put a couple of covering fires up at the top from the stone wall, the 4-inch blue templates. The feet's now gone down, which
yeah,
is...
and Zerkova feet says you can't run, charge, give or receive orders, shoot while you're in a control area. It shuts a lot of things down.
It does.
You can't make special attacks either.
You're basically reduced to moving and swinging, which with speed 4 jacks isn't ideal. So against this, all I've really got is to kind of wait it out. She's got a control range of 14, so it's not too bad against the charges. They can sort of step back and take some shots.
So she's thrown out 3 more clouds to try and protect my left flank from the Stormwall, charges, Centurion, and
everything.
All the things. Yeah. So Iron Fangs, they just shield wall, move up again, the ones at the bottom of the screen. Now I'm thinking about contesting with this unit, and that's me measuring if I can contest with one of them. But as it doesn't make a massive amount of difference, i.e. Darius isn't on the flag, it's not huge, but I clearly just do it anyway.
You do contest with one. Obviously, if I'm going to try and claim that, I'm going to have to kill a whole load of Iron Fangs that are going to kill Darius if I don't, so it does take it off the board, to be fair.
And I'm pretty sure here's where I make a fairly big mistake. I'm thinking the Uhlans are just not getting anything done, so I run them over to my left flank and sort of hope for the best, whereas in hindsight we chatted and we think probably should have just kept them behind the Iron Fangs, ready to go through. And
what they do there is they threaten a storm wall,
Charger and Jake's,
and to be honest with you, because the armour spells are currently on Centurions and they're going to have to stay on Centurions, that power 16 Lance on a storm wall, it's only armour 19, which doesn't, it's still armour 19, but storm walls are generally 21 under Arcane Shield, 22 under Arcane Shield. It is a bit of a threat, so I have got to deal with them. But as it's gone back to my turn, they are really one of the only things I can actually get some decent shots at this turn. With that bunch of freezing mist in front of me, which I'm still enjoying, I can't really shoot anything else. So I'm starting to plan if I can start to take down as many Uhlans as I can. When they're base to base, they have Wall of Steels. They're armor 19, the defense 12. So they're still. I'm thinking of charger shots and I'm thinking of Stormwall shots. So I start to look at trying to take some down, and then I come up with an ingenious plan to shoot one of the lead 2 with a charger, take it out, and then charge the second one of the lead 2 with Jake's herself. The plan was /is I'm gonna kill that Uhlan with Jake's and then sprint into the other 2 and deny their charge. Hopefully then she can be sat at defense 15 against their non-charging cavalry attacks and just tie them up.
So this is the charge, isn't it? They can move out of feet and
yes,
shoot.
so my charge at the bottom have moved back out of Zerkova's feet, and they've plopped a couple of shots into the Juggernaut that he's trying to hammer into a Centurion. I do pretty well actually. I score a good few points of damage off it.
Right,
but it's K-Dor Jack, it's not going to stop it, not by a long shot. Also, I've managed to leave Darius's charger out of control. That's the one closest to the bottom of the screen, so he's only received 1 focus from Strange Ways. Here's me trying to take out some Uhlans. I managed to blow 1 to pieces. I managed to hit. We're getting cocky because I hit the first one with a charger shot and killed it. The second charger shot targeted one at the back, which he then bounces off and leaves the front one on full health for Jake's to kill, which will be easy, right? Stormwall's activated. He's trying to put down he's putting down some covering fires. The Iron Fangs are getting closer, and they're definitely going to be in contesting range, but hopefully Centurion away, he should be able to hold them off. So here comes Jake's to I'm not going to say that, but you've gone there anyway. And thusly, she of course doesn't kill, if you didn't guess, this Uhlan, and kind of ends up stuck in combat with it.
That's rubbing my hands with glee, though.
Yeah. So as much as Jonny thinks he's made a mistake, I've also made one. So we'll try and ignore my right hand flank and Jonny's left hand flank for now. So Centurion's weighing up his options. I don't want to leave the stone wall open to a load of charges. You can charge in, but you can't charge a Centurion. So I move the Centurion up to block the Iron Fangs. They're not going to like it. It's fortified. It can't be knocked down with their crit knockdowns. He starts jabbing on a few as well and kills a couple. They're still covering fires in front of it, so they can't get too close. So Darius, despite the fact he spent all his focus this turn, he's still feeling fairly happy. My Centurion's activating. He's trying to... Oh no, he's not, sorry. My charges are trying to put some more shots into a Juggernaut, I think. And then the Centurion will have a go after that, and we're trying to bring the thing down. If I can bring it down, then I'm sort of leveling the playing field over there a little bit. Then the Centurion can just grind into things like over next turn, and if I don't assassinate her, then at least I'm still denying the zone with a load of troops that aren't really going to hurt it at dice minus 12. So this was the theory, but the Juggernaut is... one of the charges missed the Juggernaut, hit the Centurion in the back and knocked its shield off, so I'm just going to bottle that back together with half-jacks there. It does a string of damage to the Centurion though, which doesn't leave him in a great shape. He's not doing well. Because he's had to shake his crit stationary as well, he's not going to get the full focus worth of attacks against this Juggernaut.
I think the Juggernaut leaves it on about third health, doesn't it?
Yeah,
he's
alright.
It's got a right arm and a cortex, which is famously all it needs.
Yeah, the fact that he's got to pay to shake effect and he's got to pay for his polarity field, because I still don't want to be charged by a bunch of Iron Fangs, means that he's not focus efficient this turn. He's not going to kill that thing, so he's just going to have to hang on in there, basically.
So here's my turn 3, and at this point I'm thinking it's not going too badly. And yeah, I'm thinking, okay, I need to kill the Centurion at the bottom of the screen to stop him contesting. And there's a Harshark as well in the woods, and he's also contested, so I need to kill that, move Zerkova onto the flag, I'll score 1. So that's what I'm trying to figure out now. In the end, I fully fuel this Juggernaut, and I fully fuel the Juggernaut just to the left of the flag. Just in case I can cast Ghost Walk on him, he can trample over and try and finish it off if everything goes horribly. So yeah, that's just me getting fully fueled there.
So the thing with Centurions is that they're fairly I'm not going to say unkillable, but what I've not really encountered with them this far is heavies that hit at power 19, which isn't... It's still dice minus 5 or minus 4, but it's a lot better than a lot of heavies manage, which is sort of
they wreck.
a minus 6.
So yeah, this Juggernaut's moved up. He hits... do I have the crit stationary? I can't remember.
Yes, I think you do.
He does a decent job of taking him. No, I think he just kills him, doesn't he? I think he does him.
So someone certainly does him. I can tell you that much.
I'm fairly sure it's this Juggernaut.
He does. Yeah. You're right. Actually, like with them being power 19, they as I found out in this game, they clip the shield.
The shield was knocked off.
Yeah, they clip the physical shield off a Centurion faster than I had anticipated.
So at this point, I'm really happy with that. I move Zerkova up into the zone, and I think I get greedy here. I'm thinking I can shoot the half-jack. I boost a hit. I'm thinking, so I need to get rid of that, which I do.
I forget that he does a thing.
Yeah, and I think I get really greedy here and cast... Oh, I'm not sure what the spell's called.
I'm gonna say Frostbite, Frost Hammer, Frost something.
We'll go something Frost. And it gets rid of the half-jacks.
The spray, it's the big spray. Jonny there has accomplished a feat that I've literally seen no one do ever, which is kill all 3 half-jacks, not only in one turn, but with 1 attack.
So I also cast Ghostly on the Juggernaut and leave Zerkova on nothing. The Iron Fangs move up, and they're gonna... At this point, I'm thinking, it's gonna be great. I can have 4 attacks, try and knock him down, send the Juggernaut in, wail on him, it'll all be great. At this point, Glen goes, no, you can't do that, you can't be knocked down. So, crap. Alright then.
Yeah, 45 stopping that down there.
So Juggernaut walks over, and he's going to have a right go at this Centurion.
I think, does he have to trample as well? Or does he just walk? I can't. Yeah, close enough to mean that he does a bit of damage, but it's not...
Not much.
No, it's about a third off his grade,
it's
quarter
not,
to a third.
Particularly good. So yeah, bit of damage done, and at this point I'm still quite happy. I'm going to score 1.
Yeah, now I've said the word Centurion about 50 million times in this recording because I really like them. But now that I've lost one fairly easily for basically no trade, I've not managed to kill the Juggernaut that I thought I was going to at least grind down myself. Things are starting to look a lot shakier than I thought they were.
And at this point, I'm thinking, right, this is cool. I'm thinking about sending one of the Uhlans through to the charge that you can't see. I think it's just behind the storm wall, but he's engaged by Jake's, and I'm like, yeah, it'll fine. He can tank a free strike. Yeah, he can't. So,
no, we're not up to that bit yet, are we? I'm just nervously fumbling dice. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, this is it.
So it's gone to me. I've got a free shot from Jakes, and she does redeem herself.
Just smashes that in. So I'm like, right, that's it. Your time is done.
That's it. And, this is the pathetic right or left flank, depending on which side of the board you're on.
Yeah. So I'm also trying to think, can I charge past it? No, I can't. So they charge him, and
one of them hard 8s.
She doesn't put up much of a fight. I think it's just an impact attack.
She's not that good. But no, she lost all the focus at the trying to desperately kill one Uhlan last turn, and therefore goes down in this spray of blood probably.
Charge goes in it. And I clock over to Glen. No.
Oh no, this is us discussing if I know War Machine 101 and if you can attack with your mount when you're not charging, and the answer apparently is yes. I still don't believe it. Answers on a postcard. Let's go with that.
Turns out I was lied to.
More to the point, for every game of War Machine I've ever played and not made a mount attack when I've not charged, no one's ever thought to tell me I could do it. Cheers, friends.
Yeah. So I repo around, trying to threaten sort of Stormwall and the Charger. Yeah, and at this point, I'm fairly worried that Zerkova's just going to get her head shot off. So I shield wall the Fangs and move them across. Just try and protect her. Yeah, and at this point I'm thinking it's sort of a lot to lose, isn't it? And I'm running everything over, trying to protect up this left flank with the Great Bears and the Kovnik.
Well, one thing I've always managed to do, I've played this list a couple of times, and one thing I tend to do when not playing this list is I always forget about Polarity Field and do it at the end of a Centurion's activation. Against this list, it's critical to do it at the start of a Centurion's activation because I will blunder into range of a counter charge without even realising it, and then lose a shield and thusly lose a Centurion. So I've done alright here, apart from the one that died. But like I said, it's Jonny sort of shored up his position. He's got his counter charges in place for if I get over there. It's back to me. I've lost a Centurion, and the only things in front of my right flank, my left flank from my point of view, collapsing, is 2 charges and Island Strange Rage, which ain't going to stand up to Juggernaut, and certainly ain't going to stand up to a bunch of Iron Fang Pikemen. Darius Stonewall isn't in a great place for fighting, it's in a decent place for shooting, but not really punching. There's a wall and a house blocking where it needs to get to go. So I'm starting to lose the attrition game, so I'm realising Zerkova is sat on no focus, and there's a good chance, well, I can create a chance to try and shoot her. I can fully fuel 2 charges sat on the hill, which if I can just get a line of sight, wouldn't be too bad. Zerkova is 15-15, so charges will be, they're not in range to get their aiming bonus, so they'd have to move, and I'd have to clear some Iron Fangs first. It's not a done deal at all, so I sort of, with the support stuff I've got over there, I've got to put some charger shots into the Iron Fangs. So I start planning out if the Storm Wall can get some shots onto her as well. If you see where that proxy base is, that's just about within 14 inches of Zerkova, which is Stormwall gun range. But again, more Iron Fangs to clear. Like I said, if I hadn't been clouded so well at the start of the game, I hopefully would have been up on the Iron Fang attrition game. I've played this list before, and that does tend to happen. I tend to be able to charge some of them off the sheet, charge some of them off the board in turn 1 and 2. But it's not happened this time, so I've got some clearing to do. I'm pre-measuring. I need to kill a couple of Iron Fangs and get my own Centurion out of the way in order for the Stonewall to get to that proxy base and get a line of sight. I move a half-jack and nearly get a counter-charge off a Kovnik because I forget that a half-jack is not a Centurion and can be charged. But luckily he's moved up to behind my Centurion where he can't be seen either. So I managed to dodge that one. So the Chargers are going to try and make their play here. Junior's moved up and he's shot one of the lead Iron Fangs I've got to do. The first Charger goes, hits the second Iron Fang I've got to do and opens a line of sight to Zerkova. He skies his next shot, including rolling dice off the table. So the second one moves up. hits on a 9, I believe, just about. He's on dice -3 and she's on no focus, so
he does 7, doesn't he?
hits her for 7 damage. His second shot also hits on a 10, I believe, and there's GG.
Takes her head clean off.
10 damage, and the job's done. So,
upon reflection, though, I think the turn before I made mistakes. I got greedy with my focus. I sat on 4 focus and just thought, yeah, let's do all this stuff. When in reality and hindsight, which is a pretty awful thing, I should have showed up with a couple of clouds, really, mainly to protect Zerkova from the shots.
Like I said, the clouds were my undoing in that. I think if you could have attritioned out a little bit more, I said the Uhlans were a bit of an error in that they possibly could have been behind Iron Fang for most of it and threatened charges, even if you can't charge Centurions. Just a threat and then play the attrition game, and that's where I was losing. So anyway, the job's done. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and all the rest of the YouTube things.
All that stuff.
And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Bye.